Kelsey, how do you feel about the way you all clawed back into the game, and maybe what do you take away from having some youth around you and what it takes to end the game or finish it off?
Oh, we just talked about that. We had some lapses where defensively we weren't sound. And they made us play. That's a veteran team, but there's so much opportunity and growth for our team that we saw tonight that it's been unmatched, and there's no limit to where we can go after tonight.
What do you think of Aliyah Boston's debut, and particularly the fourth quarter where she really sparked you all, had some plays, made some mistakes, but just kept fighting?
I can't even explain. She's not a rookie. She don't give me a rookie mindset. She's a player, and she's going to compete. And I won't want anybody else on my side. Actually, none of my teammates, any of my teammates can ride with me any time of the day. But AB specifically, I can go into any war with her because she's going to compete. She's going to give you everything she got. And whenever she's not playing, she's going to give you even more. So it just goes to show what kind of person we're talking about.
Talking about the defense a little bit. The third quarter, 23 out, fourth quarter was going awesome at the start. They didn't score for 7 minutes. What kind of change, and can you take anything away from that late stretch on that end before?
Honestly, man, we barking up the wrong tree if we talking about X's and O's and schemes. Like it's a doggy world, and you got to dig deep. You got to find it within you to go and compete. And all-stars like the one of honor and Alyssa Thomas, they're gonna make you pay. And when we didn't do what we were supposed to, it showed. And to answer your question, it's everything here. It's something that can't be taught, and we as a team know that. So.
Is that what, for you in the second quarter when you had that really good stretch that you guys making, is that what you would describe it as?
Yeah. It's a doggy world, man. Ain't nobody gonna save us. As much as y'all come in here and ask us these questions, we know y'all ain't got too many life jackets for us and stop us from practicing. So I've already put in my mind that we're gonna chase anything that's not guaranteed because I think that we put the work in to be a part of these big conversations that's gonna be had down the stretch of the season.
I know she didn't play tonight, but what's it been like working with Grace Berger, her being kind of the hometown kid here?
G-Baby. That's her name, G-Baby. So G-Baby is one of those people where she's very, very, very conservative into herself. But for her to influence the state of Ohio and to influence the Indiana Fever tonight, it was amazing. And knowing I'm from a Buckeye and I'm in the Big Ten, she's taken over so much. She's taken on so much of influence in this state that it's amazing. And the best thing about it is that she's haven't even tapped into everything she brings to the table for us. So I look forward to playing with G-Baby and everything she's going to bring to the table for us.
Obviously, that stretch, you guys early on were having a hard time getting any buckets. Obviously, you seemed like calmed everybody down, got some buckets to get everybody rolling. I guess just what were you just trying to do as a veteran? I guess at that point to get everybody sort of settled down when you guys were having a hard time getting the ball in the bucket.
The goal is always to be that player, be one of them ones, be the one. Be the one to lead your team, be the one to get us going, be the one to calm everybody down, just kind of be there everything for my team. And I don't have a problem with putting that on my shoulders because I think I prepared for it. I think we as a group prepared for it. So I look forward to more and more, gritty games like this, and I think that we can start pulling them out down the stretch.
Kelsey, do you think that's an innate ability, like to embrace like when things are uncertain? And then if it is, for you personally, how have you kind of just built on it over the years?
A lot of experience, man. I won't lie to you. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears that's been brought into this. And the best part about it is that we haven't had our Cinderella story, so who knows what could happen with us. There's no limit to who we are and what we can be, and that innate feeling that you're talking about, I think we all have it. I think our entire team have it, and once we tap into it, I think we're going to surprise some people.
How would you describe your rookie debut and the joy of having a comeback, and then maybe the sting of okay, this is what it takes to win this league?
Yeah, it wasn't a successful rookie debut just because, no matter what my stats look like, it's a team sport, and we didn't come out with a dub. So it wasn't as successful as I hoped, but, it's a lesson learned. You learn, you watch film, you see what happened, what we need to adjust on, and we go from there. I've gotten a good feel for the league right now. It's just a physical game, especially being post players down low and just making sure that they're doing what your team needs.
Jones's time after T and your Christie's and home debut, going against these players, you feel like you're learning a lot about physicality change from the college to pro level?
Yeah, I definitely am. And there's bigger posts in the pro level. So just trying to understand the fine line, especially with the physicality, and how that looks offensively versus defensively. It's a work in progress, but I think as each game goes on, I mean, I'm going to count this as 3 just because we've had 2 preseason games with 2 big post players that I'm getting the hang of it. It's not perfect yet, but it's definitely going to improve.
What did you feel like clicked for you in that fourth quarter when you had to come on a little bit?
I just try to rebound, try to score, do what my team needs. I mean, it was pretty hard just because I got into foul trouble pretty early. But I mean, we're going to compete no matter what the score looks like. I mean, you said it earlier that there was a bit of a comeback, but I mean, that's just who we are. We're going to compete. We just need to get out to a better start, not being down as much. But this Indiana Fever team is a competitive team that no matter what you think the score looks like we're not hanging our heads. Like, that's not what we do, and we're going to compete.
When did you go from blue to red?
That's a great question.
Right before media day.
Yeah.
Bill, go ahead.
Is that fourth quarter, not just the way you played, but the whole team, is that kind of indicative of what people can expect?
Definitely.
Everything together.
Definitely. I think the way, like I said it before, the way we compete, I mean, I think we showed that in the third and fourth quarter. Like, we came out, we defended, we tried to make it hard on them because that's what their goal was for us, just make it hard. We rebounded the ball, we pushed pace, we moved the ball. That's who we are. That's what we do. And we're going to piece it together and play that for 4 full quarters and really show teams what it's about.
How far has the team come defensively in the span of about 2 weeks? I mean, it seems like, obviously, I think you went 7 minutes without giving up a point in the fourth quarter. Just how quickly has the intensity stepped up, and also just the cohesion?
Yeah, it's stepped up a lot. I mean, Coach Sides and the entire coaching staff has really harped on defense. You know that we want to be a defense team, make it hard on other teams, because I mean, every time we step on the court, no matter who we play, they're not just going to let us walk in and get what we want. And so that's kind of the same mentality that we're taking on them. That was a good stat to know, but I mean, that's what we do. We defend. You know, we make it hard on teams. We rebound. We contest. I mean, that's what, you know, we scout them. You know, and so we know what they're doing.
Does it, when you start to trust your defense, does that keep you guys in a game when you're falling behind? You know, maybe 5-6 minutes to get a field goal. And does that, how much does that keep this team in it when you can believe on that side of the floor?
Yeah, I mean, just speaking on any team, I mean, you're getting stops, you're making it hard, you're going down the other end, you're scoring. I mean, that's going to give you energy no matter what the score is. And so I think we did use that. We fed off that and tried to attack, and we cut the lead down to 3. And that's just what we're going to do. We're going to piece it together, though.
Haley, go ahead. Let's get Haley first.
I know you never got to play Grace Berger in college. That would have been like the matchup of the century. But what's it been like to walk through this rookie season with her so far?
It's been great. It really has. Just seeing her growth in 2 weeks has been amazing. I'm not going to tell you everything we do in practice, but there's been some stuff where you just see, you know, Grace coming. That hooper that you saw in college that gets to her spot, can hit down any shot. Like, it's amazing to be on this journey with her.
James, go ahead.
Kelsey mentioned that, you know, she took over with you any day, doesn't look at you like a rookie, looks at you like a player. How do you view yourself at this stage of your career when it's just starting out, but obviously there's expectations? And how do you view yourself?
Dang, we need to like prep for these questions. These are good.
That was a good one.
I know.
I just let him in at the last minute too.
I mean, in this stage, I don't really look at myself as a rookie, just because I just look at it as basketball. I mean, it's another level up, but I mean, I'm just a competitor. That's who I am. That's who I've always been, even when I was in college. And so to be here, I mean, I'm just a competitor. I might be getting some rookie calls though, but.
Anybody else? Go ahead.
Oh, I should take them off. But these are Candace Parker's. These are her shoes. You like the colors, aren't they fire? I know they're hers, and they're amazing.
Is that like a conscious choice to do that just because of what she meant to your career?
Yeah, and the colors are fire. I'm a color girl. Like, just throw me some color. I'm there.
You know, against Dallas, we started out really, really hot. Hit some shots, gave people some confidence. Didn't happen tonight. Scored 10 points in the first quarter. We're young, and we've got to figure out that you can't just sit back at that point when things aren't going your way and just think it's going to get better. You got to be able to fight through. Maturity's got to happen fast for us. And that's what we had a really long talk about in the locker room just now. Things go bad, adversity sets in. Are you an energy giver or are you a taker? And I was more disappointed in our energy when things were going bad. No one seemed to want to grab each other and get us back going. Great how it felt against Dallas, right? Totally different. But I will say, had a pretty decent down 19, I think. Come back at the 150 whatever. I think we're down 3. And then you've got to lock down and play some defense. And we played, they ran the same play and just ran it down our throats. And you've got to step up and get a stop.
Those stretches where you work like in the middle of the second, that fourth quarter run that you're talking about, did you sense it was energies or something tactically you changed? What do you feel like led to your best spurts in this one?
Yeah, we ran some things for Kelsey off the ball a good bit. Kelsey Mitchell is just dynamic. Her cuts are dynamic. Her speed is dynamic. When she cuts, the defense has to move. But if we're not setting screens and we're not making hard second cuts, the defense doesn't have to work. And that's kind of what was happening when we were getting in those lulls. Kelsey draws defenders. People don't help off of her. So at times you want to use her as a decoy, but she's so good you just can't, especially if we're not making great second cuts.
You saw the Rookie of the Year up close last year. What do you think of Aliyah in her first game today?
Aaliyah is a competitor. She wants to win more than anybody in our locker room. She's, this is her second game to foul out in, and it's really upset her because she thinks she's letting down the team. I told her from the beginning she's not going to get any calls. It's just what happens to rookies. Bree Jones did a great job, bodied her. She's got to learn to figure out it's not a boxing match. It's not a fight. You've got to be smart. You've got to make moves. You've got to stay wide base and be places early. You've got to step across and be early so Bree doesn't have the opportunity to force you where she wants you. She's going to get better, guys. Like she is, you can't really compare the two. Right now we're two different positions, but she's going to keep getting better.
Are you seeing her learn within game? I mean, it seemed like she definitely did against Dallas in the preseason. It seemed like the same way that she might run into a brick wall early, but she'll figure out ways around it. Is that how you see it, basically? Do you see her sort of growing up and learning and countering in the course of the game?
No question. No question. I think that's for rookies in general, just filling out the game and the speed. She had a great play where she set a flare, and her man helped for a second, and she flashed the ball right there and got a wide-open layup. We had talked about that in that timeout. We were actually trying to go to Liz on a pick and roll, and then we set that great flare. She set a great flare, hard screen, and slipped it. She's learning this game. It's just two totally different games than in college.
Christie, what do you think it takes to have that mindset of whatever it is, I'll figure it out at this early in her career where, other rookies or the players that even might not be that mentally strong to like, okay, this didn't go well, I'm in foul trouble, but I'm going to make some baskets, give us a chance to win.
Yeah. Back to the maturity, growing up. We have to grow up fast, or we'll have a lot of times like that because everybody's going to make it hard on us. It's not going to be easy. You got to find a way to, when you can't get a stop and they just keep, running it down your throat. I think they hit 4 threes, is that right? But we were terrible in our closeouts. We were closing out on people, flying out on them. They were getting downhill on us because of our closeouts, which was causing our post to have to help, getting them in foul trouble. That's just maturity. That's just understanding the game. That wasn't our game plan. So they've got to be more disciplined defensively.
Go ahead in front.
You had chants of we want Grace. Obviously couldn't get in the game, so it was so close. What do you have to say to the fans who came out to watch her, and unfortunately it didn't work out for her to get in?
Yeah, I hate that. I can't hear anything during the game, but I did hear it in our Dallas game. Grace is going to be a good player one day. She's got learning to do. She knows that. She comes out and she fights and she helps make us better with where she needs to. She's learning and she's growing. She's playing the point in the best league in the world, and that's just a tough job. So I don't want to throw her out in the fire right now, but she will get there. I promise. And I mean, we're lucky to have Grace Berger on our team.
You've always talked about seeing breakdowns on defense. I mean, they shot 31.8 from the floor. I mean, do you still feel like, when you can look at it and say there are these small mistakes here, but it seems like this defense has come a long way in a couple of weeks. I mean, do you feel that way? Do you feel like you guys have made big strides on at least establishing culture and mindset on that side, even if you're not?
Yeah. Oh, I definitely think we've established something. I don't think that we would have kept it at 9 points this time last year. I mean, I just think it would have been a different outcome. You know, offensively, we just are learning a new system. And if you're not cutting hard and screening hard and understanding spacing, and that tends to happen when things are going well and shots are falling, but when it doesn't, you still have to understand spacing. You've got to understand sprinting to set hard screens, making second cuts. Defensively, that's where I'm going to, like tomorrow morning, I can't wait to show video. 100% agree with you. They did shoot, what'd you say, 31%?
Yep.
But we still work on something every day, which is called trap the box. And when we help, we have to have help the helper. They had a couple buckets, wide open layups, because we didn't go sit on the knees of somebody in a helped helper situation. That's what we've been preaching. That's what we're good at. You can't have those kind of breakdowns. You can't have the hard closeouts where they're going downhill on you. Like, we were playing them a certain way to keep those things from happening. You've got to be able to understand that closeout, drop your butt, get your hands up, and keep them in front of you. And we didn't do that.
Kelsey mentioned that she views herself as like one of the ones, like one of those people that whatever happens, you can count on me to show up. How much do you think that matters when you're trying to build something and change what it's been? And she's kind of been a part of the change.
Yeah. I mean, Kelsey Mitchell's special, right? I mean, she just does some outstanding things. She's got a special gift. She can shoot the basketball, but she's also now taking people off the dribble. She's finding people. But her teammates have to help her out a lot, because if they're not doing anything, then they're just collapsing on her. And that's what we tried to explain. Like, if Nalissa Smith doesn't set a hard screen and roll, Kelsey Mitchell's man is not going to help. So you will be open on that same side. But if you don't roll hard, then you're not going to help us. And then Kelsey, her man's just going to stay there and didn't have to do anything to help. So it's just a learning process. We're going to figure it out. 2 weeks is a really short time to get ready for a game with 9 first and second year players. But proud of them for their comeback, right? I mean, proud that we got back in that game, cut it to 3, disappointed that we couldn't get a stop, and they scored 3 straight baskets running the same play. That's just discipline. That's just taking it personal and not letting it happen.